Hello. So we have confirmed tornadoes in and around the North Platte area, which, if you're from Nebraska, you know that is Lincoln County, not the city of, but the county of. This radar is going through 7:23 p.m. on Wednesday, May 14th. Do have pictures. Excuse me. I'll show you it to you here in a second. Here's a picture of something that was sent to the National Weather Service. Hi, Jose. Hi, Nebraska Trains with Matt. Marno, good to see you. But this is what a picture from the National Weather Service. So let's I'll show that again here in a little bit. But first, let's kind of zoom in here. So you've got two different tornado warnings here. One is this one right here. That's for rotation, and then this one is the confirmed one. I'm thinking that little hook right there. Let's take a look. One was a landspout, the other one was just a regular tornado. So yeah, this one over here is probably going to be let go here soon. This one still has pretty good rotation associated with it. Back to, there's another severe, so we have severe thunderstorm warnings kind of all over the place. So this one was just issued. That one right there is for Blaine, Brown, Loop, and Rock until 8:15 for $half size hail. And that's right there. And then this one is for Custer, Garfield, and Loop until 8, $half size hail. Ooh, okay, so now we got a new tornado warning here. Tornado warning for northwestern Lincoln County and southwestern Nebraska, so just northwest of North Platte. Confirmed tornado located 3 miles west of Hershey, 14 miles west of North Platte, moving north at 10 miles per hour. Weather spotters did confirm a tornado. And yes, these storms are going straight north. Headed to Lincoln. Eventually, they will try. Lincoln's kind of, I'll explain that in a minute, once we get past all of these warnings. Also a warning over here. That's for Dual and Garden until 7:15 local time. And then this one right here for Cheyenne County until 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. But this one they just added a confirmed. Hang on, I want to see if they have any more pictures. No. But if you missed it, let me show you that picture again. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, this is, for everybody, this is basically western, southwestern Nebraska. The storms are nowhere near eastern Nebraska. So for now, this area is dry. But there's a chance we could see some storms, just a small chance. But it's... hang on. Forgot to get rid of the picture. There we go. Let's see. Creativity by Tricia. Yeah, you're welcome. So if you live in and around North Platte, I used to work for a TV station in North Platte for several years. So if anybody's watching that used to watch me on KNOP, how you doing? So there's a new confirmed tornado moving just west of North Platte. This is Erie too. This was exactly, I remember a situation like this several years ago. Just about in that same place. Let's see, let's go, here we go. So what we're watching is this area right here. It's probably closer to the interstate by now. Let's see. Kind of want to get some information from. Ooh, there was an update. Okay. Okay, so darn it. So the latest information from the National Weather Service on that tornado warning right there, let me move this a little bit, is having a heck of a time tonight. Confirmed tornado located 3 miles west of Hershey, 14 miles west of North Platte, moving north at 10 miles per hour. So it's a slow mover. Mainly rural areas, and if you're familiar with this area, it's a beautiful area out there. Just once you get outside of North Platte, there's only just tiny small towns all over the place. Tornado on the ground. A reminder from, I love the National Weather Service, a reminder to not take shelter under highway overpasses. Never do that. I know it seems like you should. I mean, why wouldn't you want to protect your vehicle from hail, but it creates really hazardous conditions. Severe thunderstorm warning for Brown and Blaine until 8:15, $half size hail. This tornado, look how fast that one, look at this, right there, look at that, just basically evaporated. So that tornado warning is still in place, but there's nothing left of it. This is I think this one took all the energy, but see that little hook right there? It's just spinning around. Oh yeah, they can just cancel it. Does it still show storms firing up in eastern Nebraska? Yeah, P-Cake, I was just talking about that. And let's take just a quick second to look at that. Let's see what the latest, I'll find the latest information for you here. Let's see. Hi Cameron, good to see you as always. Okay, this is gonna show, I'm going to try to change some, so on the fly here, I'm going to change it to a high res. Okay, and then zoom in a little bit here. So this is 10 p.m. So it shows storms popping around 9 or 10 o'clock. And see that it's trying to connect to that storm to the north and west. So just northwest of Columbus and then next to Lincoln, that could fill in. It's going to try. And then the main part of the storm takes over and moves everything east. So yeah, it's still a possibility. Okay, let's get back to the warnings. And if you're wondering if there's a severe thunderstorm watch or anything like that, yep, that's this. This goes until 11 p.m. This is the whole thing, all of this, a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m. Central or 10 p.m. Mountain Time. And the main concerns is this whole area. Notice Omaha, Lincoln to about Hebron, west and northwest. Large hail, those hash marks right there, all of this. Hail the size of likely bigger than golf balls, a possibility. Tornado potential, obviously we're seeing that right now. And then the damaging wind potential. Okay, back to the radar in Columbus, so thank you for the information. We appreciate it, PK. There's somebody and you're welcome, first off, there's somebody from Columbus that keeps talking about a Columbus split. I think he's a farmer. Seems unhappy every time rain misses him, so I'm assuming he's a farmer because I get it. I mean, that's your livelihood. It's weird. The models went from 2.5 inches of rain potential in Columbus to nothing, to the last one was about 1/2 inch. So Let's see. With the instability we have in eastern Nebraska, could it some decent rain? Maybe. Marno, yeah. It's possible. If we can get a storm to form, yeah. We just need something to lift it. There's not enough energy to lift the storms easily, so something's going to have to happen. Model Run 19Z looked weird. I haven't even looked at it. Sometimes you got to take a break from the models and just kind of look at what's happening. Look at this. You don't need a model to go, okay, there's two things happening. These are moving this way, and these are moving this way. So what's eventually going to happen is this is going to run into this. So this whole thing is eventually going to become one, and it will all start pushing this way. So that's the experience. We'll see. A family in Neely and Antelope County, and they need rain bad. Hopefully nothing severe. Luke, every single spot in Nebraska could say that, and you're so right. Neely and Antelope County, Boone County, Wheeler, Holt, Lancaster County, Buffalo, Dawson, you name it, every county. And now I know some areas are worse off than others, but just about every square inch in Nebraska needs some rain, and it's looking pretty good that many spots will at least see some tonight. And obviously it's happening right now. Now what'll probably happen is somebody will get just barely missed. Look, okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. Because everybody thinks it happens in their hometown or their city or their town. But let's kind of find a spot. How about this area right here? Look at this area right here. Missing out on the rain. Or this area right here, Arnold to Broken Bow, missing out on the rain. Is there a dome over that area? Is it a split? Is it some? No, it's just how storms work. They can be weird. Kind of seeing, this is kind of fun to watch. You can see this is now starting to try to push east, probably because this right here is forming, creating kind of outflow boundaries, pushing everything this way. Boy, there is so much going on here. If anybody is a meteorology major, this could be on a test. There's so many moving parts. Meanwhile, we have this continuing just west of North Platte. This right about there. See that? See how that hangs on right there? I'm going to slow this radar down. Hang on. Watch this. See that little nodule where that arrow's pointed? That stays there for quite a while. That was your rotation. Now it seems like it's getting absorbed back in. It's still kind of there, right there. Yeah, the D word. You're right, Marno. I owe $1. Sorry about that. Good luck on your test tomorrow, Luke. I'm going to text my kids. My son was asking me if I was going live. He may not know. He's probably playing something. Oh, there he is. Speaking of my son, that the pink means that it's a confirmed tornado. That means there's actually a report of a tornado on the ground. Good question. I saw National Weather Service Omaha said something about storms. We were just talking about that. I showed the model data. There's a line of storms will try to form basically from Grand Island to Lincoln around between 8 and 10 o'clock tonight, and then quickly move northeast. glow shorts. That's a pretty cool. I like whatever emoji that is. That's a good one. Hi, we need the rain. You know what? I posted on Facebook just to I said, if you need rain, let me know in the comments, because it just seems like everybody needs to say that right now, and they do. I mean, everybody does. You're not alone, Logan. You really aren't. Everybody. I think I've heard that probably 1,000 times today, that we need the rain. So there's the radar loop. Notice how everything's moving north from here to here. But this stuff, ooh, there, look at that. That's a big severe thunderstorm warning. That right there, that means that's got to be a wind threat. It's whenever they're that big, that's a wind threat. Yep, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. So what's, just kind of to let you know what's happening here. Hang on. This part of the storm right here is moving pretty fast. And it's moving like this. And it has embedded inside of it 60 mile per hour wind gusts. And that's why you get these big severe thunderstorm warnings, because they're not the isolated strong storms. It's just kind of a big long band of a lot of wind embedded in that thunderstorm. Let's see. Oh, Don, I know you're not the only. Again, I'm not tired of hearing it. I'm hearing it a lot. Did I mention I'm hearing it a lot? Yeah, I'm sure every single meteorologist in the state of Nebraska, or really surrounding areas, have been hearing it as much as I have, that we need rain, and it's true. I cannot wait, and it's got to happen eventually, where everybody has enough rain, or too much. That'll be the next one. Love learning about weather, though. Have a cousin who works for the National Weather Service in North Platte. Cool. Graduated from Chadron State. I went to Chadron State. Him and I can talk about weather all day long. Cool. Is there instability for Lincoln? Yes, there is. There's just not a whole lot to. That's your fuel, nothing to light it. Let me see. I'm glad Lincoln probably won't get rain. We don't need it. Interesting. There we go. Oh, cool. I see a picture from another TV station on this National Weather Service chat, so I can't show that one, but it's a pretty good shot. So nothing there. Let me see what Hastings is saying. That's in North Platte. So National Weather Service is also monitoring that, what I was talking about, this right here, this cluster of storms. That's basically our next weather maker. This, let me zoom out so you guys can get a feel for what I'm talking about here. So there's the state of Nebraska, right? Here's your snow. Just so you know, it's still possible this time of year in some parts of the U.S. All of this is moving north, and then all of this is moving east. So this is all eventually going to push north, but this is going to run into whatever's left and basically drag it across the northern half of the state, bringing with it severe weather, mainly wind. There's some hail potential. This is kind of this right here is your hail and tornado potential. This here is mainly your wind threat, your straight line winds at 60, 70 miles per hour. And it's also what's going to keep me here till 1 o'clock in the darn morning. Let's see. Yeah, Kevin, does that help? Thanks. Let's see. Is there any validity to large moving water masses causing storms, specifically tornadoes, to divert to a different area? Severe thunderstorm. Hang on. I've got it. I'm not sure I understand the question, but hang on. $50 size hail for a severe thunderstorm warning in Western Valley County. That's just southwest of Ord, moving north at 35 miles per hour. Okay, is there any validity to large moving water masses causing storms, specifically tornadoes, causing storms to divert to different areas? No. If I'm understanding correctly, like, do tornadoes avoid large bodies of water? No. Storms are up here, water's way down here. Storms don't care what's down here. It's just they just form and go over water. Let's see. Not to get off topic or anything, but the past couple of times on the various scanner apps I've listened to Omaha NOAA weather radio feed and it hasn't worked. I know they've been trying to fix some things. It's technical issues. You'd have to ask them though. I don't know exactly what's the problem is. Tornado parameter. When I was looking at it yesterday, it was relatively low, but it wasn't zero. I actually did a YouTube about that. So if you want to go check out the last YouTube I did, that kind of talks about that. Yeah, tornado warning was expired. I grew up being told that the Elkhorn River south of Norfolk caused storms to redirect. That was incorrect. That is very much not how weather works. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you hear growing up that, and I heard things too, but there's a lot of things you hear growing up that people just swore by. But with more, there's that, they kind of reissued that tornado warning, so it's not a tornado warning for observed tornado. It's just a regular old tornado warning. I'm trying to think of some old wives' tales. Like a lot of people think that Lincoln won't get hit by a tornado, which is weird because it has several times. Omaha too. People swear that there's something in place that keeps Omaha from getting hit by tornadoes. And last Arbor Day they were hit. 1974, I believe it was, some 1940. I don't know. There's been many times that Omaha's been hit directly by tornadoes. Grand Island, they used to think that they could never get hit by a tornado, and then back in the 1980s, they got hit by 7 or 8 in one night. Yeah, there's a lot of old wives' tales that people just swear by, and they're just not true. How does tornadoes happen? Logan, I went to school for 4 years, and I'm still not 100% sure on exactly how they happen because it's something different every darn time. Melissa's designs, yep, people swear by that too. I've heard that. I've heard the dome. I've heard the bowl. I've heard Lincoln's in a valley, which what? I've also heard electrical equipment there's like a huge electrical something stopping storms south of Lincoln, I believe. Old burial grounds, Native American burial grounds. I've heard that. So let's see. I figured it was an old wives' tale, but thought it would be okay to ask. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, water doesn't matter. I mean, there's been tornadoes many times in and around Lake McConaughey, and when they do, if they touch water, they're called water spouts. Happens all the time in Florida. So, and Jose is telling me it always goes around Lincoln. Well, that's not true at all. You know how many times Lincoln's been hit by a tornado? Quite a few times. Keeper of the lake stop. I believe the tale is that all the pavement heats up and cause updrafts that prevents tornadoes. But rising air creates storms. I mean, that's how thunderstorms happen. It's warm air rising through cool air, thus creating storms. So There's so many theories and reasonings, and the thing is, there isn't just one or two or 10 or 15 or 20 things that prevent or cause everything from happening. It's like throwing a rock into a huge lake. It just kind of starts things moving. Do you think the last tornado season was more? Let's see. How large was the tornado? The Hallam tornado? That was 2.5 miles wide. Do you think last tornado season was more active for Lincoln? It was so far, but we're just getting into it. So it was more active. Grand Island is not in a tornado bubble by any means. The 7 that happened in 1980, yeah, I mean, research that. If you have any interest in tornadoes, research. Don's absolutely right. It's just incredible. When would you say the tornado threat would die out for Omaha tonight? I don't think there is a tornado threat for Omaha tonight. A chance for storms. There's going to be 2 waves. One will be in the next hour or so, if storms can form, and then when all of this makes its way across the state, so that'll probably be about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Power plant exhaust can cause storms to dissipate. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there that just isn't true like that. I mean, that doesn't even make, I don't even understand how that would work. Artemis, how have I been? Good, thank you. Always wanted to see a tornado or tomato. Yeah, they're out there. Let's see, they extended the watch for Red Willow. Oh yeah, including McCook. No, McCook. All right. We read The Night of the Twisters in 5th grade and got me hooked on weather. Yeah. There's always something. If you ever ask a meteorologist, every weather nerd, weather geek, weather person has a pretty good story about what got them into weather. How is you even going, and how is your family? And so neutral winter. I'm going to talk about severe weather tonight. Winter can wait. That's a long ways away. Oh yeah, DMAC. I remember that. We used to practice that in school, where if the tornado drill, the kids in the back rows, it was their job to open up the windows when the tornado sirens sound, and then we would all head into the hallway and do that duck and cover thing. Put your hand over your heads. Oh, I remember that. We all thought because they said it equalized pressure. Yeah, like you said. Another myth. I mean, that's not what caused buildings to be destroyed by tornadoes. It was the wind and the damage that goes along with the debris. I forgot all about that. Yeah, that's a good example of, and I think everybody can agree, that did absolutely no good. And it's just one of those things that we thought was the right thing to do. And now we know better. We learn, we live and learn. But a lot of people like to hang on to those old wives' tales and the myths just because it makes sense in their head, just because they don't know any different. And eventually they'll figure it out. Let's see. What is this? What are super chats? Oh. Might have to figure out how to do a goal. I'm just kind of looking at my YouTube thing since it's relatively quiet. I mean, we do have that cluster of storms right there moving through Burwell towards Bassett. Mike Tilson, yeah, I agree. I try to entertain them, like the fog after 90 days. There's going to be a storm 90 days after fog. That one drives me insane. Let's see, the day of the Pilger tornadoes, I was a freshman in high school on the way to play a football game, and there was a tornado 5 miles behind us over by Royal. That was a heck of a day. I was working at the other TV station back then. Look at that cluster, though. Look at them run into each other. Wouldn't surprise me if we eventually see a tornado warning here. Three days ago, Euro model showed snow for western Nebraska. Was that the only model that showed snow? Or were there others? That's kind of how you have to look at all of them and see if it's just one in one run, then it's like, eh. I was always told to unplug everything because of lightning back before surge protectors. We used to, and you couldn't be on the phone when it was a corded phone. I remember an episode of Roseanne where Dan was on the phone trying to call somebody, and it had the corded phone, and he acted like he got zapped when a lightning bolt. I shouldn't even be on the phone. How can you tell if a storm is a wind threat on radar? Radar picks up wind speed, and it can tell you how fast things are going. So when you look at stuff like, oops, wrong one, like this, see those higher, the wider blotches? That's wind speed. That's higher wind speed. Let me get a different one here. There you go. So you know that wind goes one way from, this is the radar site right there. And when it's going that way from, when it's going north of the radar, it's green, and when it's coming at the radar, it's red. Severe thunderstorm warning for Hitchcock, Dundee until 9 p.m. Storms were 17 miles southwest of Champion, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, and penny-sized hail. So radar picks up on wind, and it can tell you how fast it's going, or give you a good estimate. Still kind of watching that rotation just near North Platte. So that's why there's still that tornado warning in place for North Platte. That tornado warning goes until 8 p.m. So about 5 minutes left on that. We'll see if they extend it. Quite a bit going on, though. I mean, there's quite a few severe thunderstorm warnings. Yeah, with taking a shower during thunderstorms, it all used to be like copper and metal pipes that connected from the outside to your water coming out of your shower head. Now there's so much plastic and PVC that 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, there is no metal connection to the outside. Because it used to be lightning would strike right outside your house, and it could hit a metal pipe and basically go through the metal pipe to the shower. Nowadays, that just doesn't happen. Let me see if I can, hang on one second. I might be able to show you guys something. I think I deleted it. I had a thing that showed where, let me see, 1 second. Is anything gonna happen by the Lincoln area tonight? Lincoln the city or Lincoln the county? Lincoln the county has a tornado warning. Lincoln the city probably won't. We might see some thunderstorms in the next hour or two, but then that would be it. Hang on 1 second. Oh, here it is. This is pretty cool. You guys might like this. So here's most common locations where you don't want to be anywhere near during a lightning storm. So outside in the open, unsafe structures, golf course, your yard, field, mountains, how about that, on a roof. New event, new tornado warning, so hang on. What is this, inside the house? So that happens. Driveway, construction, on a farm, on a road. What's that one? Inside your car. Under the tree is number one. Do not hide under the tree or on the water or the beach. On a trail, parking lot, in the park. So your yard and under a tree, two of the worst places to be. And really just outside in general. Hang on, okay, so I want to look at that warning. Where did it go? There we go. Lincoln, the city. Yeah, Dalton, just there's a small chance. Okay, so there's the new severe thunderstorm warning. Wondered if it would do that. So let's look at that information. Probably this right here. So you see how it's kind of red surrounding it, but right in the middle, that's a different direction of wind right there. So that means there's rotation in there somewhere. And that's open area. So I mean, there's like a field there. And I've driven through this so many times. So you go basically, you know what would be cool? And I've this highway from out of North Platte, then you take 97 up to Tryon. Love that drive. I mean, it's one of my favorite parts of Nebraska. Being probably right down here, watching this storm would be really cool if you're a storm chaser. I'm sure there's a bunch of them right around here. Because that's the problem with storm chasing in western Nebraska. A lot of space, not very many roads. I would not want to chase in western Nebraska. Let's see. Yeah, western Nebraska is beautiful. Northeast Nebraska, though, is gorgeous too. I like to take 75 up towards Minnesota. I have family that live in Minnesota, so I'll take that north, directly out of Lincoln through Fremont, and then just head north and then into Worthington. I switch it up, Cameron. I'll go to Ogallala sometimes. I'll go Grand Island to Highway 2 and, up that way. There's so many different ways you can get to western Nebraska. New severe thunderstorm warning for, okay, there's a whole state. For Garfield County, $half size hail. Almost all of these severe thunderstorm warnings for north central Nebraska, that line right there, just southwest of O'Neill, has been for $half size hail. Thoughts on Monday? I don't like Monday. Oh, is that what you're asking? I haven't really looked deep into Monday because the thing that happens with these storms is it depends on what happens before. So what happens tonight will set the stage for Monday. So it's not, I mean, yeah, there's chances for storms Sunday. Hang on. I have chances for storms Sunday, Monday, into Tuesday. I haven't really seen any severe weather threat yet, but it's early. Hang on a sec. Monday, that would be day, what is today? Today's Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's 5 days away. Way too early. Way too early. Now I know there's I think Tuesday has a better chance for severe weather for southeast Nebraska than Monday does. But again, that's almost a week away. So it's something we'll watch. Eastern Loop and Western Garfield severe thunderstorm warning for $half size hail till 8:45. What time is it? 8 o'clock. Okay. Mike Tilson, absolutely. If you get the means to go to western Nebraska, it's pretty cool. Now, there's a whole lot of nothing out there, I will warn you. Once you get either west or north of North Platte, or if like anything west of Grand Island, going, basically the western half of the state, wide open country. If you can make your way to Chadron, though, it's really gorgeous out there with a lot of the Pine Ridge and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. Gonna be a long night for me. It is, and I will warn you guys. In an hour, I'm gonna have to let everybody go because I have some things going on at 9 o'clock. I have to record some things, so it is what I do. As for thunderstorm warning for Holt, did I talk about that one already? I don't know why that didn't print off. Oh, that's a watch. That's why. They added a watch for Holt, Boyd, Garfield, and Wheeler. I should probably update that. Doesn't really matter. So here's what happened. I was like, what happened to Holt County? Oh, goodness. Okay. So there's a new watch. All right, I got to post this stuff here. That goes until 3 a.m. So, yay, it is going to be a long night. Is that what you were talking about, Luke? So, okay. What is tomorrow? May 15th. All right, got to update some things here. And then this over here. Okay. You guys are getting a behind the scenes look at what I have to do when I post severe weather stuff. You're enjoying the precipitation this evening. Scottsbluff near the Riverside Zoo had about 1/4 of an inch. There you go. That's awesome. All right, hang on 1 second. Update the website, so just hang with me for a little bit here, guys. If you have any questions, I'll get to those in just a second. Where is that? There we go. I have like 12 places I have to update. Oops. I have to watch what I'm doing. All right, there you go. Well, hopefully, and so far, I mean, we've kind of avoided the severe weather, the really bad severe weather so far. I mean, we're far from done, obviously, but sorry, just posting all of this to the social media pages. remember it wasn't too long ago I said that on a YouTube stream, and I didn't update the Mastodon server, and somebody called me out on it the next day. Said, "Why didn't you post to that?" And I'm like, "Oh, sorry." So I'm doing that right now. Of course, it hasn't. The server's been weird. Hopefully it works. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so now it's working. Okay, back to YouTube. Here we go. When does the tornado threat start dwindling down? That depends on where you're at. But for the western portion of the state, probably around midnight, and then north central and northeast Nebraska. The further west you go, the sooner, but northeast Nebraska till about 3 o'clock in the morning. How far west does Channel 8 have TV coverage? We go over to here, these counties right here. So you've got Perkins and Chase, you've got Hayes, Hitchcock, Red Willow, Frontier, Gosper. So it kind of wraps around Lincoln County and then goes up here towards O'Neill, these counties up here, and then basically not northeast Nebraska, but along and south of Interstate 80 all the way. So basically all of this, and kind of like an upside down T. So basically these counties here, and then all of these. It's a weird DMA. It really is. How can I watch Channel 8 without cable? We do stream our news. So if you want to watch like at 5, 6, and 10, and then the morning show and then the midday show, you can watch that. We have an app that you can download like on Roku, and you'll be able to watch all of our news. Now, we don't stream the TV shows because we're not allowed to do that, but you can watch our news on those apps. Do you have any idea if our weather pattern will change so we will get some rain? There's rain out there right now, so hopefully this is what you're looking for. The weather patterns change all the time, but yeah, right now it's been dry. Many spots have seen, Omaha has seen some decent rain, but there's just some areas that are dry, and I'm sure if you live in a dry area, you think nobody else is getting rain, and sometimes that's the case, but there's a whole lot of rain out there right now. Hey, let me show you. In fact, it's kind of weird to see. So this cluster right here is all moving north, and then this cluster right here is moving east. Lincoln, it's possible, but it's not as likely. The better chance for rain tonight is basically like this. Whoa, keeper of the lake. Ice cream fun. W in the chat, you guys. Gotta do a W in the chat. Hang on, I gotta text my daughter. She loves W in the chat. That's awesome. Keeper of the lake, thank you. I'm taking my kids out for ice cream this weekend. That is so cool. Thank you very much, man. That's awesome. My daughter just said W in the chat. Woo! That's so cool. So now we're starting to see these storms getting closer to the other storms. So these that are moving north and these that are moving east are going to run into each other. So something along this boundary right here is going to get interesting. We might see some spin-ups right there. Family ice cream, where's our favorite place to go? Jillian likes to go to Scoops. And it's mainly because it's close to home. We live far, far, far southeast Lincoln. Like if I walk 100 steps south, I'm in the country. That's how far southeast we live. So anything in downtown Lincoln it's a long drive. It's like a half an hour to get there. Let's see. Any Cape readings only done when they launch? Are Cape readings only done when they launch balloons? Yes. Well, I mean, if you want, actual what's the Cape, yes. But we also have weather models that can project and predict. It's kind of iffy. Severe thunderstorm warning for Rock and Luke County until 9 p.m. for $50 size hail. Moving due north at 30 miles per hour. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Look at this line. So this is kind of explaining a few things. See how it just goes whoop like this? Usually on that tail end, 9 times out of 10, if you're going to have a tornado warning, it's right there. It's kind of like a whip, where that whip area gets that curve. Like it just kind of, and it just brings it back in. And that's why there's always rotation at the very end of those storms like that. Just fascinating. UNL Dairy Store. I got to get Jillian there. You're absolutely right, Betsy. Absolutely, Bestie. You're absolutely right. Coneflower next time you're in Omaha. I haven't been to Omaha like to do something in Omaha in so long. We drive through a lot to get to the airport. We go to the airport a lot, but we just don't stop in Omaha very often. Ooh, I need to change this. Hang on. Okay, I had to change that severe thunderstorm watch box at the top left-hand corner of your screen so that it, there you go, it just changed. Might have to be a College World Series trip. I haven't done that either. I'm usually working, and there's always severe weather to worry about during the College World Series, so I rarely get a day off during that time. But that's a good idea. Kevin West, good to see you. Tail end Charlie and the storm sense, kind of, Don. That's kind of what I'm talking about, yeah. Let's see. Kind of keeping an eye on southeast Nebraska too, just in case. Because there's an area here that's unstable, but there's no lift, nothing to kind of get it going. But this area right here really wants to meet up with that area right there, so it's still possible. But this is kind of interesting when you look at it. This whole area is severe. One tornado warning here in the middle of it all. And then all of this is severe warned. Isn't that crazy? And it kind of makes sense. So when you think about that, you've got all of this energy right here going straight north. And then you got all of this energy over here going straight east. And right here's in the middle of it, just kind of getting spun around. Let's see. Let's see. Do you ever take a break from weather like on vacation? Are you checking the weather where you were at and analyzing it? I was just in Chicago with my family for my wife and I's wedding anniversary, my kid's birthday, Mother's Day, that weekend. And for the most part, yeah, I wasn't watching the weather. We had so much going on. We took a bus tour around the city of Chicago, which was fantastic, by the way, if you ever get a chance to do that. Yeah, I didn't worry about the weather one bit. But when I get back to the hotel room, yeah, just kind of, I'll look at it. It's entertaining for me. My girlfriend's in North Platte right now visiting relatives. Okay, well, hopefully she's watching TV, knowing what's going on. Little storm by northwest of Columbus, yep. What's happening is you've got this whole area right here that wants to form. So yeah, you got a little storm right there. LAB1. Pea cake looks like a mess. I agree. This is a mess. Look at the instability. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Look at all of that instability for Lincoln. Look at all of that. Grand Island, Columbus, Beatrice. This is kind of like, like someone pours a huge puddle of gasoline on the ground. Now you're like, okay, that's a lot of fuel. It's not going to take much to get a fire going, right? And you're right. But if nobody has any matches, nobody has any, a spark, a lighter, anything, then nothing happens. Oh, hey, Kevin, thank you. That's awesome. Appreciate it. There's no way to thank you. Okay, but hey, awesome. Thank you very much, Kevin. W in the chat. Glow shorts. W in the chat. Bryce, tell your sister. Nah, you're busy. Never mind. Bryce is supposed to be studying for. He has a test tomorrow, a math test. But yeah, thank you, Kevin. That's very nice of you. But yeah, back to the instability. I mean, if anything could get going in any storm that can pop, then we'll have a lot of it. But there's nothing there to. And by the time this stuff right here gets into this area, this instability will likely be a lot less. Just the timing isn't right. There's so many moving parts, that it's hard to have everything happen just the way you want it to get storms. People think forecasting the weather is easy. There's so many moving parts that it's so hard to keep track of everything. Still watching that wind velocity in and around North Platte. It's still got some rotation there. Let's see. It's end of the year. Studying is the last thing kids want to worry about. He's got a test though. It's not even the final. The final's next week. In Salt Lake County. I'm not sure what that means. For me, I'm glad nothing is forming near Lincoln. If it did, it would probably be pretty gnarly. You're not wrong, Mike. There's definitely fuel there for something to happen. Cheyenne, I just want some rain. You are not alone. There's about 300,000 people that agree with you in Nebraska. Creativity by Trisha. Oh, there he is. I don't have high hopes for finals. Bryce, come on, man. What are the wind gust reports looking like? Nebraska, nothing really bad yet. What's coming out of Colorado will likely be the wind threat, the 60, 70 mile per hour wind threat that we'll have to deal with. Like that severe thunderstorm right there is for 70 mile per hour wind gusts. This one right here headed towards McCook, that's for 60 mile per hour wind gusts. This one right here, that's also for 70 mile per hour wind gusts. So what this is telling me, all of this right here has the potential for 70 mile per hour wind gusts. Who would have thought that a YouTube live people would be encouraging my son to do well on his test tomorrow? I appreciate it. That's awesome. Carmichael, chances for thunderstorms. And if there's a thunderstorm chance, there's a chance we could see severe storms. But when you think about it, today's Wednesday, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's day 6 and day 7. It's a long way to go. So, ping pong ball size hail southwest of Ord, moving north at 40 miles per hour. So if you live in Western Valley County, some decent sized hail associated with that line of storms. Wind advisories, Kevin, are already out there to the north. Lincoln isn't in it, but it'll be windy. Just know that it'll be windy tomorrow. Look at that line. What a weird thing happening. It's like a Y. You got this right here, and then this kind of formed on its own. This was a whole, just basically its own entity, and then this just kind of joined up. Weird. I don't know why it did that. Huh. Jolene, yeah, you're not alone. Every single person that has gardens or yards doesn't want any storms but wants the rain. You and 300,000 people have been talking to me about this today. Is it almost stationary? Kind of, Kurt. Yeah, it's all, everything's kind of moving north, and now it's trying to pull east, but it's running into that line that's been sitting there for like an hour. So yeah, it's, for all intents and purposes, it really is. Does it look like it's twisting a little where it merges? Let's look, because that's kind of in a good spot. Let me see. It's trying. Yeah, I mean, like right there. Yeah. But it's not a tight couplet. So that's the good news. It's definitely different direction wind, but it's not spinning up a tornado yet. But nice catch. And then there's this down here. This is where we have had that tornado warning in this area. Is that still warned? Yeah, it is. I think that goes until 8:30. Let me look. Yeah, 8:30. So another 5 minutes left on that. Flooding isn't likely. I guess I don't know, flooding's a possibility, but it hasn't been talked about. But sometimes you get that really dry ground, and it's the rain doesn't soak in right away because it's just so dry, it just runs off. So there could be some localized flooding, but not widespread. If tornadoes do pop up tonight, are they supposed to be weaker? Yes. Will storms make it to southeast Nebraska at any point? Probably not. Never say never, but the better chance is northeast Nebraska, not southeast Nebraska. So here's why I think southeast Nebraska isn't going to have a really good chance. Here's the very bottom edge. And when you extrapolate, come straight out, the direction those storms are moving, they're moving like this. And they're moving like this. So that's why south central and southeast Nebraska probably still a chance. I mean, it's certainly a chance. But this low pressure center that is about right there, it's going to travel like this. Could these storms joining forces cause more spin-ups? Yeah, I see that quite often. It hasn't happened yet, but it is something I'm watching. cooler temperatures are welcome. Yeah, today was hot. The last few days have been okay. It's still hot, just not as humid. But today the humidity came back. You could definitely feel it. Oh goodness. So if you're out there and you enjoy these live streams, oh, there's another severe thunderstorm on. Another big one. This is for a lot of area. This is for Frontier, Perkins, Keith, Chase, Lincoln, and Hayes until 9:30. 80 mile per hour wind gusts. 80. Yikes. I'm wondering if I should do a cut in. Because that's 80 mile per hour wind gusts. Hello. Oh, PB&J. I'm gonna give it just a little bit because it's not even there yet. But 80 mile per hour wind gusts. That's they seem to be going more in the same direction now, though. Yeah, it's all coming together, and that was kind of what was supposed to happen. Is when that one that's coming out of Colorado started to interact with that one in north central Nebraska, they were basically going to merge, and that's what's happening right now is they're merging. Good call, though, Marno. You're paying attention. I like that. That tornado warning was just let go in the county of Lincoln. I feel so bad. I had a trivia question. I do trivia questions every Monday through Thursday at 10 o'clock on the 10 o'clock news. And one of the questions was who had, something about most tornado warnings since 1950. And it's Lincoln County. And our new anchor, Sophia, she's not from here. So when I said Lincoln County, she thought it meant the city of Lincoln. I felt, I should have warned her. I feel so bad about that. Don't forget to update your Mastodon like you did earlier. I did. Is that heading towards North Platte, the 80 miles per hour? It is. It is. And North Platte is not in my designated market area. Otherwise, I would have been on air for the last hour and a half of that tornado warning. Cheyenne, yeah, absolutely. It's that we have, and that's the thing with TV. I mean, I started off, my first job was in western Wisconsin, and I knew nothing about, I'd never been to Wisconsin. It was the first time I'd ever been there. So when you're into television, you usually move to a market you've never been to for your first or second or even third job. My first job was in Wisconsin. My second job was in Nebraska, so I knew about it. My third job was in Minnesota, so I knew a little more about it. And then my fourth and fifth TV jobs in Lincoln. So I'd hate 80 mile per hour wind gusts because it's not like a tornado. You can't see it coming. True. So why was the 3 different areas of storms? What caused that to happen? A frontal boundary was the first area. Excuse me. Frontal boundary for like west central Nebraska, basically straight up and down from Cherry County all the way to McCook. There was a frontal boundary there. Storms formed along that boundary, but it wasn't moving. Central Nebraska had just a cluster of storms that formed kind of all by itself, and that was due to instability in that area and just a little boundary layer that just kind of popped a storm up, and it just blew up. And then the low pressure center was spinning around in Colorado with another wave of storms that came out of the Rocky Mountains, and now everything's basically running into each other. How tight does the velocity need to be for it to be concerning? There are all sorts of pockets of red and green. It's consistency too. I mean, it tight helps. The velocity. It's kind of a tricky situation, and it also helps when there's storm spotters to know what's happening. But you also look at the different levels of the radar, and I'm just looking at one. But there's many different levels, and the National Weather Service is able to do that on a consistent basis and see if there's different levels of rotation that go up, and that is more. But if you just have it just at one level, one layer, then you're like, okay, it's just things running into each other. What is going on behind me? They're getting ready to do some topicals and some promo shoots and some things for a different station that we take care of. Got a little wishbone of storms. I said that too. I said it was a Y, but you're right. It's a wishbone. Wishbone. Good call, ham radio. Yeah, this is kind of a cluster. But I mean, look at that. Look at that rain. I mean, yeah, we have 70 to 80 mile per hour, 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts here. Some decent sized quarter to $50 size hail here. But look at all that beneficial rain falling. I mean, let's glass half full it for a little bit. That is exactly what some folks are hoping for. Rusty winds are a little gusty. Hi, Sean Espinoza. Bestie, glad you enjoy that. Now, what was I saying? I was saying something earlier. Oh, in about 10 or 15 minutes, I'm going to wrap this up. And because I have some of that stuff behind me, I have to do my actual job. But if the things are still rolling, rocking and rolling at 10:30, I'll be back. So if you guys want to continue hanging out with me tonight after the 10 o'clock show, so probably around 10:45, so I can get set up, I'll probably be back. So watch for a link. But I've got about 25 minutes before I have to start doing some more stuff, and I got to get ready for that. But let's see, any storms for Fremont tonight? Probably, maybe it will be a while, like overnight, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, it's possible. GI might get some rain. It's possible. Like I was saying earlier, this is basically your line, like this and like this. So in between those two lines have the best chance for rain. I appreciate that, Cheyenne. It's always nice to hear. Need the water. My voice is starting to go. I think it has half of it's allergies because my throat is not strong because I'm this time of year. It's like allergy season, but it's always I'm talking because of severe weather. God, I got to figure out a happy medium somewhere. I think after 25 years of doing this, I'd figure it out. So yeah, I think appreciate that, Rowan. Rowan, is that right, Rowan? Yeah, live broadcast on YouTube. This I wish I could do more YouTube videos, but they're so weird because with weather, everything gets out of date so quickly. I'll put out a forecast and then the next day it's old. So, I try to put out when it's relevant, when there's a severe weather potential or a snow potential. So I try to do it as often as I can, but it's these lives that really are the most beneficial for me, getting the information out. I mean, this is just basically like I'm on TV for however many hours, 74 minutes I've been doing this. So hopefully it's helpful to you guys. Do you have the wrap model? I do. I'd have to go find it. And I don't have enough time. Good question. I just don't, that's a whole lot of things I'd have to do. And I don't have a whole lot to do, or a whole lot of time to get around that. So, unless anybody has any last second questions, I'm going to let everybody go. Just as I say that, another severe thunderstorm warning. That's for basically southwest Nebraska. Hitchcock and Red Willow? Yep, Hitchcock and Red Willow until 9:30. 60 mile per hour wind gust, so not as bad as that 80. So anyway, shorts would be good for spitting out quick information, long form video. That's like TikTok. Don't those things live forever though? The TikTok or the shorts? I don't know. Anyway, okay, have your head on a swivel, and I will be back after the 10 o'clock, so it'll be a couple of hours. Unless I start doing severe weather cut-ins on a regular basis, then I'll pop this back on. Jose, I just can't do it right now. Sorry, man. Maybe at 10:30. Maybe I can kick that up for you, but right now I don't have time to do that. Sorry. Thanks, Marno. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you guys later.